I've been obsessed with custom code in FlutterFlow since the platform launched. It's always been the escape hatch, right? The promise that you could build with the visual speed of FlutterFlow, but the moment you hit a wall, you could write your way out of it with Dart code. But here's the painful reality that every senior FlutterFlow developer learns the hard way. Valid Dart is not always valid FlutterFlow. You see, FlutterFlow isn't a standard IDE. It has a parser that is stricter than the actual Dart compiler. You've been there, you paste in code that you know works. You grab it from pub.dev, the very author of the code itself. But FlutterFlow screams at you. Why? Maybe you used a generic type which the visual editor can't see. Or maybe you missed the right naming convention for a struct. Or maybe you pasted a widget that needs a specific package but forgot that FlutterFlow just won't magically update your dependencies to match. I've spent years experimenting with exactly how far you can push custom code in FlutterFlow. I've gone from the early days of ChatGPT prompts to fine-tuning custom models to messing around with MCPs, all trying to solve one specific problem. How do we take that vibe coding workflow where you just describe what you want and force it to respect the incredibly neurotic way FlutterFlow expects code to be formatted? By and large, your standard AI models just don't get it. So I took matters into my own hands. This is the FlutterFlow custom code command app. It's a dedicated 3-step agentic workflow designed specifically for this ecosystem. It takes your prompt, and it doesn't just write code, it acts as a senior FlutterFlow engineer. It strips out the junk dependencies, it aligns the naming conventions with FlutterFlow's naming conventions, and most importantly, it performs a complete FlutterFlow compliance audit. It tells you exactly where the pitfalls are before you paste it. It flags the imports you need to apply manually in your project settings. It bridges the gap between the AI dream and the FlutterFlow reality. And so while we never officially got an AI builder inside of FlutterFlow, this might be the next best thing. And you can use it right now at customcode.connectio.com.au. Let me show you how it works. So this is custom code command. It allows you to put a prompt for literally anything you want inside of FlutterFlow, be it a component, a page, a responsive card, any type of FlutterFlow object at all that can be rendered as part of custom code. It'll then use a specific model that you can choose. Here there's 3 models to choose from. And it will go through our 3 agents, our prompt architect, our code generator, and then finally our code audit. So I've got a first example here, which is our FlutterFlow credit card input widget. It includes algorithmic validation, expiry date formatting, CVV field, and card type detection. We're going to use Gemini 3 Pro, and we'll get this one running. Now, the reason this example is a really good test is that it tests algorithm implementation, a specific type of algorithm implementation. It requires proper input formatting and masking. There are multiple interconnected fields. We'll want to see that we can tab between them, for example. And there's business logic that could fail if it's not properly structured. So as you can see here, Custom Code Command has used Prompt Architect to create a JSON structure that conforms to FlutterFlow's strict requirements. It transforms a casual description into a structured JSON prompt and injects the FlutterFlow specific requirements throughout it the whole way. Here we've got our code that's been generated. We can have a quick look over it while it's being analyzed by the auditor. Once code dissector is run, we get a detailed report and an overall score of how comfortable the auditor is with this code being copied and pasted, with this code being used inside of FlutterFlow's custom code section. It highlights any critical issues, severe warnings, and most importantly, the required actions that we have to do alongside placing the custom code inside of FlutterFlow. It will also suggest additional code transformation tweaks should it deem them necessary. And finally, we get summarized recommendations. It's a fully fleshed out report that allows you to copy custom code into FlutterFlow with absolute confidence. And that's what we're going to do right now. We'll set up a new custom widget, paste in our custom code, copy the class name of the widget, there it is, credit card input. And this is FlutterFlow telling us that the parameters over on the right-hand side don't match, so it's going to make them match. It's a great time saver for us. And then finally, we've just got to add in that missing dependency into the project dependencies section of FlutterFlow's settings. With that done, we can add it to our page. Here it is under custom widgets. We just have to add in the custom widget properties. So it's width and height. We've also got an on-card changed callback where we can action something upon the card details changing. And we've also got callback parameters that have been provided by our custom code. For now, we'll just put in a snack bar showing that the card has changed. And let's do a local run. So here is our card. While it's basic, custom code command does certainly preferences simplicity over ornateness. It works, it validates, and you can tab through it. All right, let's up the ante a little bit. This is a circular progress ring widget. We want it to animate from 0 to a target percentage with customizable colors, gradient effects, you name it. It's basically a souped up version of the circular progress indicator that's inside of FlutterFlow. So what this will test is custom painting and drawing. It'll also test animation and state management, as well as visual effects and custom parameter handling. Our architect is done, and we've got a custom painter. Here's our code. We can have a quick look through it, but it looks pretty good so far. And we get a score of 92 out of 100. That's pretty good. It really means there's probably not a lot missing. I think we can see there that there's just the Dart math import, so we can import that immediately before we even bring in the code, but that looks to be the only thing missing. So we'll add in our import for Dart math, and then our code that's been generated. Copy the class name, hit save, make a note of our parameters, and then add it onto our page. So our parameters here are our standard width and height. We also get to put in a percentage, which is the percentage around that it will animate to. Now this will often be a dynamic value. We'll hard code it for now, but you could also make it a variable. Stroke width, primary color, secondary color. We can also choose to have Flutter make that a gradient between those two colors, whether it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise, font size, and the text color for the percentage indicator. Let's test that one out. And here's our beautiful, fully customizable circular progress indicator. For our third and final example, we're going to get custom code command to create a multi-step form wizard. It'll have 3 steps, and the goal will be to get users' information. Each step needs to have validation and the ability to step back and forth. What we're really testing here is state management across the various steps, form validation logic, navigation between states, and then data aggregation and preparation. How do we get the data at the end of the form? So our architect does a great job of preparing a detailed JSON prompt, and our code generator, this time we're going to use GPT 5.1 Codex, does an excellent job of bringing it all together. Our auditor gives us a score of 95 out of 100, which is pretty much spot on. This is going to be a very, very easy one to implement. Just a couple of notes here about a custom data type that we need to create called wizard form data. That will contain all of our users' personal information, first name, last name, address, as well as some preferences, things like whether they like a light or dark theme, and if they want notifications enabled. This can be literally any set of data. So we'll quickly set that up in FlutterFlow. And our auditor also mentions that we need to set up an app state variable, temp form data, which will hold the data as a user completes the form. And that will be of type wizard form data, now that we've set it up as a data type. With that all done, we're good to copy the code into FlutterFlow. We've got an onComplete action callback. And here's our form. So we can tab through it. We've got state, both in terms of the buttons, the next and back buttons at the bottom, as well as the stepper at the top of the page. And then on submit, we can initiate that callback, which for now I've just set as a snack bar to give us all of the JSON data. Give custom code command a go and see what you can add to your FlutterFlow projects quicker and easier than you ever thought possible. Let me know how you're using it and any feedback. It's also open source on my GitHub. The link is in the description below. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through FlutterFlow custom code. Let me know what you're creating and how you're extending FlutterFlow. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and do all the YouTubey things, and I'll see you next time.